Are we living in a simulation? There is a possibility that everything you are experiencing right now is not real in the way you think it is. Not fake, not imaginary, but not fundamental. Because what if reality is not the base layer of existence, but a constructed one, a system, a structure, something generated from something deeper that we cannot directly access? Look around you. Everything feels solid. The world appears stable, consistent, governed by rules that do not change. Objects have weight. Time moves forward. Cause leads to effect. It all feels reliable, but that reliability might not mean what we think it means, because something can feel perfectly real and still be constructed. Think about your dreams. When you are inside a dream, it feels real. You see, hear, move, and experience. There is space. There is time. There are events unfolding, and while you are inside it, you don't question it. You accept it as reality. Only when you wake up do you realize that everything you experienced was generated within your mind. So how do you know this is different? Because everything you experience right now is also happening within your awareness. You do not perceive reality directly. You perceive signals interpreted by your brain. Light becomes images. Vibrations become sound. Chemical signals become emotion. Your entire experience of reality is a translation, not the thing itself. Which means you are not seeing reality. You are seeing a version of it, a constructed interface. And that leads to a deeper idea. What if the universe itself works the same way? At the smallest scales, reality behaves in ways that are difficult to reconcile with classical physics. Particles do not have definite positions until observed. They exist as probabilities, as possibilities. Information seems to play a more fundamental role than matter itself. Some theories even suggest that reality may be discrete, like pixels, rather than continuous, which begins to sound familiar. Because everything we create, games, simulations, digital worlds, follows similar patterns, discrete units, rendered environments, systems that only fully generate detail when observed. So the question becomes unavoidable. Are these similarities just coincidence? Or are they clues? Because if reality is based on information, if observation affects outcomes, if what we perceive is a constructed version of something deeper, then what are we actually inside? Some physicists and philosophers have seriously considered this possibility, not as science fiction, but as a real hypothesis that advanced civilizations could create simulated realities, indistinguishable from base reality. And if that is possible even once, then statistically, it becomes more likely that we are inside one, rather than outside it. But even without going that far, there is something undeniable. You do not experience reality directly. You experience a model of it. And if that model is all you have access to, then how could you ever tell the difference? Because any evidence you gather, any observation you make, any conclusion you reach, would also be part of the system. Which means that if reality were a simulation, it could be perfectly consistent, perfectly logical, perfectly real from the inside. And you would never know. But maybe the question is not whether we are in a simulation. Maybe the question is, what does that change? Because even if this is a simulation, your experiences are still real to you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your awareness, they are still happening. So does it matter what the base layer is? Or does reality become real through experience itself? And if that is true, then the distinction between real and simulated may not be as important as we think. Because what you feel, what you experience, what you are aware of is real to you. And maybe that is the only definition of reality that matters. But there is one final question. If this is a simulation, why does it exist? Who created it? And for what purpose? Is it an experiment? A test? A form of observation? Or something we cannot even begin to understand? And if there is something beyond this layer, something outside the system, would we ever be able to reach it? Or even recognize it? Because just like in a dream, the system may be all we can perceive, and everything beyond it may remain forever out of reach. So the question is no longer just, are we living in a simulation? It becomes something deeper. If this is not base reality, then what is? If this made you think, take a moment to like the video and tell me in the comments, do you think this is real or something else?